Welcome to the Possible Project, and welcome to our family.
There's River, there's Zach, Jess, and I'm Tim. So over the next 12 months, amongst coronavirus and everything that the world's facing, we are going to start an all-of-life experiment. We want to take the latest in brain science and see how we can unlock the potential of our amazing kids, who carry some big labels and have some big unanswered questions.
Like Brené Brown likes to say, some things in life are worth failing for. This is something that we're going to put our all into. Look at you! Woo! Be careful, be careful, be careful. This story didn't start with us.
History is full of countless people who have stepped out and tried something novel for the love of a family member. Take George.
A medical student in the 1950s whose father suffered a devastating stroke. At the time, stroke recovery was completely uncharted and he was told his father would never walk, talk or be independent again. George, completely inexperienced in rehab, decided to rehabilitate his father himself. For 3 years, George lived with his father and, guided by intuition, taught him how to do motor learning again, having him on the floor crawling, having him helping around the house, steadily changing the task and the complexity. Unknowing to him, he was actually tapping into the latest science we have now about neuroplasticity, creating learning and neural pathways that saw his father completely recover in a time that it was not considered possible, and this really is him.
George's brother, who had watched this whole journey unfold, went on to become a neuroscientist and one of the founders of neuroplasticity. This concept that we can rewire and change our brains.
The story's really gotten us thinking, what can we as a family do? If we put everything into it, what is possible?
So our story began almost 5 years ago, on a dark and stormy night. Well, not really, but we were in intensive care with 2 delightful bright buttons, entering the world to much turmoil and uncertainty. Somehow we all survived the years in hospital and the acute medical complications. But then the long-term diagnoses started to pile up. So what did we do? We packed up our lives, we built a tiny house bus and we took to the road. After months of healing from our trauma, we decided to set off around the world, seeking the latest therapy and interventions for our boys. And what a whirlwind it was. We also started looking into the latest brain science, and we've been dumbstruck by what we have found.
Brain science now shows that the brain is completely plastic. So through experience and stimulation, we can change the function and the structure of our brains. So this is relevant not just for our kiddies, but for every single person. Every day, all of us are changing our brains. So whether you want to create a new habit, break a habit, or you're facing more serious things like chronic pain, addiction, brain injury, learning difficulties, or for myself, facing anxiety, this stuff is life-changing. For our kids who've been told they won't do things, they can't do things, this flips everything on its head. Because the question now becomes, what is the experience and what is the stimulation that can unlock their amazing potential? But some of this solid scientific research and practice is years ahead of mainstream application, like 10 years maybe, and we are not willing to wait that long for our boys. So we begin our experiment. A water bottle, I love it. We'll be standing on a wooden stump, guys. Ultimately, everything is going to be applied through a neuroplasticity framework using key principles: high dose and intensity, enriched environment, repetition with variation, motivational, meaningful activity, participation, novelty, one of my favorites, play-based. So far, we're conceptualizing this program in 3 ways: goals and skills, life integration, augmented. Like, how does the latest technology or augmented strategies speed up motor learning or simply bypass networks that are not working for our boys? Exciting stuff. We already have an incredible team of experts and academics who've started to inform us. And our bigger dream, honestly, is to get more time and energy from those experts to design this so heaps of other children could benefit from this program.
Ultimately though, what we want to do is we want to unlock the potential that our boys have, but continue to nurture and love them and have everything enveloped and grounded in that. In love, play, and making sure that they realise how special they are as people.
Yeah, that's it.
So we're going to make weekly videos about the experiment.
Sharing the things we're learning and the principles that are working or not working. Join the journey, come with us, and let's see where this is going to take us all. The only reason we're able to dream big and begin the Possible Project is because of our patron community. So we wanted to say a huge shout out to over 100 people and families who are partnering with us in this. And if you want to join the tribe and help us make the Possible Project bigger, better, and reach more people, check out the Patreon website. Thanks, guys.